Saturday, December 13th, 3 p.m. Eastern, it's the annual battle, the Army-Navy game in Baltimore, Maryland. Braves Country Radio will bring it to you live from coast to coast and around the globe. A salute to all the men and women who have served and continue to serve this great nation. This year will be the 126th meeting between the Army Black Knights and the Navy Midshipmen. Join us live and we'll bring you play-by-play of America's game, Army versus Navy. 8 of the last 11 matchups being decided by one score, including the double overtime thriller in 2022. It's Army-Navy. Navy-Army. America's game, heard around the world.
Well, the season's finally here, and the players...
Hey, football fans, you ready for the gridiron? Thursday mornings, the Armchair Quarterback Show returns, 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll be talking college and NFL football, the point spreads, fantasy football advice, and more. Catching it live, you can ask your questions. We'll answer all. Point spread advice, player props, your fantasy football questions. It's the Armchair Quarterback Show, Thursday mornings this fall here on
Armchair.
The armchair quarterback, he's full of beer and he's full of snacks.
Armchair.
Do you think you got me a tape of the show?
What on earth for?
Well, how often do you get to hear your son on the radio?
I'm on the radio every day.
You're listening to WQVZ, 1700 AM Mission Radio.
For me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
No one talks in my meeting. No one! Think you can run this? If you could, then I wouldn't be here. Because I'm sick and tired of our football team getting pushed all over the field. I want precision. This is an institution of learning, ladies and gentlemen. You've tried it your way for years. They've given me less than 1 year to turn this place around. Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law.
10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire...
Armchair.
Community Access Channel.
He's the armchair quarterback, he's full of beer and he's full of snacks. The all-American man. Yeah, the armchair quarterback, he's kind of fun and he's kind of bad. The all-American.
Yeah, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Welcome into Armchair Quarterbacks Today, and welcoming in this morning, Mr. Doug. How the hell are you?
Doing great, doing good.
And Bobby, how's it going, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be back after our Thanksgiving break, and I'm looking forward to talking some football.
Are you as excited about next football season as I am?
I'm excited about the draft.
Yeah,
and I'm excited to see how Florida pans out. I'm excited to see how that experiment will go.
I'm about as excited about Florida's new head coach as I'm as excited about Florida State's current head coach. So. Wow.
Yeah, that's fair. Not the prolific hire we were hoping for.
It looks like that Penn State got caught with their pants down.
Yeah, they did.
What the hell is going on there?
They got beat by the cookie company for their head coach.
Yeah, well, was that their only game plan? I mean, that's what gets me. They went to National Signing Day yesterday without a head coach. Good to see you, Charlie. It's extremely strange to me.
Yeah, it's not like they haven't had time to figure out because they were one of the first teams to pull the trigger on fire their head coach.
Exactly. It's not the fact they didn't get their man because that happens all the time. Florida didn't get their guy. They thought they were going to get Kiffin, and evidently they were nowhere close to getting Kiffin. Hell, Ole Miss thought they had their guy.
Yeah.
And he gone. I think it's a bullet dodge by anybody that ends up with him because eventually he leaves.
Yep.
And I don't see Lane Kiffin being a career coach at LSU. I just don't. I think the pressure is going to get to him. just like it would have gotten to him if he went to Florida.
Yep.
I do think he eventually ends up somewhere like an Ole Miss, where it's going to be like a Power 5 team, a Power 4 school, but with much lower expectations than what LSU has, and what, for whatever reason, Florida has those same kind of expectations. I've never quite understood. Florida's never figured out that they caught lightning in a bottle with Urban Meyer, and should just love the fact that it happened, but that's never coming back, right? LSU, they keep saying it's a top 5 job in the country. I don't see it. I don't know how the hell it's a top 5 in the country when they're constantly recycling their coach.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think one of two outcomes is probably going to happen with Lane Kiffin at LSU, and it's either it goes downhill and it crashes and burns, or
he goes down and crashes.
Yeah, that's it. But there also could be, if he does do well, if he does do really well, I mean, he's going to be eyeing bigger jobs in the future. That's what he does. He doesn't value continuity the way other coaches do. So let's say that Alabama job opens up in a few years and he's had a great run at LSU.
I think he's going to the NFL. And then
possible too.
And then once he leaves the NFL, because he'll get canned eventually, then he'll come back to college, and that'll probably be where he stays.
That's where he settles down, yeah.
Maybe. Hell, I don't know. He might constantly – someone brought up something, and look, I know it's more of a knee-jerk reaction, but the guy that brought it up, his show, he's not a Ole Miss fan, so take that with a grain of salt. Yeah. And I don't believe he's a Tennessee fan either, so it's not like sour grapes, because we all know what they went through. But what he brought up was – is Lane Kiffin always going to be the guy that leaves right before the playoffs when he has a really good team? Because he doesn't want to get out coached in the big game. He wants to keep selling what could happen as opposed to what does happen, because it's not like Lane Kiffin's ever won anything.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, whoa, he's done so well at Ole Miss. I mean, has he? What the hell has he won? He has not won an SEC championship. He has not been to an SEC championship game.
Yeah.
And I know he was set to go to the playoffs, but that team's not going to win the national championship. That team would be lucky to get through the first round.
Yeah.
And so there's the BA says college is becoming Division II, NFL. It's getting sad. It's been that way for a long time. Fans are just starting to pick up on. It's actually worse than that, the National Football League nowadays, because there's no penalty. And there should be a penalty that if you leave a Power 4 conference to go to a Power 4 conference, you should have to take some kind of penalty. The team that's taking them in, whether it's some kind of a fine that goes straight to the school, right? Or maybe it's if they finally get this NIL figured out, maybe they end up capping your NIL. So as opposed to, let's just say it's $30 million, which is what it sounds like Lane Kiffin's going to get at LSU. Maybe the first 2 years they cap that and say, or actually I think I heard $25 million. So let's say they cap it and say first 2 years you're going to get hit by either $5 or $10 million, and you can only go X amount. Something's got to be done, because college football is not what it once was. And I know it was always a delusion. We all know that they showed up with envelopes, but it was never to this amount of money, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think a big flaw with it too is you have these coaches they're jumping ship right before the playoffs, right before the biggest point of the season starts. And not only that, they're talking about taking coaching staff members. They're talking about taking players from their team that are about to go and play in the playoffs, because that once a coach leaves, it opens up that 30-day transfer window for players. So having all this going down right before the playoffs is a big flaw that I think it's something that the NCAA needs to figure out, because it's a terrible situation. I mean, it would be like if NFL coaches were sniffing around for other jobs, are getting hired for other jobs before the playoffs, and then
which happens.
A dilemma.
Yeah. Which happens, but they still stay with their team.
They still stay with their team, and sure, there's conversations going on behind the scenes, no doubt, but it's not as open and out in the public as it is with college football, I'd say.
And they never announce it until the team's been eliminated.
Yeah,
right.
And you also don't have to worry about players jumping ship and leaving to that new team,
because there's rules in professional sports.
Yeah. There's no rules in college football. It's the Wild West right now.
It's been like that for what are we going on 5-6 years now with that nonsense, and it's getting worse. And they keep saying, "Oh, we're going to develop this, or we're going to figure this out," and blah blah blah. You haven't done anything. And I'm not going to put it on the NCAA because the NCAA no longer has any kind of standing in any kind of power that they have. This is Greg Sankey's fault of the SEC. This is the Big Ten's fault. This is, to a lesser degree, the ACC and Big 12's fault because they don't have the money that's being pumped into some of these universities. But it's 100% their fault. And anyone that thinks that it's not are delusional, because Sankey has not stopped any of these guys. It's bad enough they did what they're doing. It's worse to me, Doug, and I'll give you a second to chime in, that it's happening in his own conference, right?
Yeah.
That Ole Miss gets robbed by LSU, who not only is in their own conference, but they're also rivals. But that's neither here nor there. In their own conference, it's happening to them. So it would be bad enough if he left Ole Miss to go to, we'll say, Penn State, right? And it's dirty and it sucks for the fans. It sucks for the Ole Miss fans. But it's even worse because it's happening to your conference. So you are literally making your conference lesser. Doug, what say you?
I think the biggest example right now, you're talking about all these coaches moving around. Just look at Penn State's going to rule the day with Franklin going to Virginia Tech, how he's affected all the decommits from Penn State. They're practically in the Virginia Tech locker room waiting on him. And I don't know what Penn State was thinking, getting rid of him, but you're going to see that Virginia Tech is going to go from nobody to probably one of the best teams with this recruiting class. Virginia Tech's recruiting class was like 150. Now they're the 19th best in the country. All the decommits from Penn State and all the commits that he's getting, Virginia Tech is just laughing themselves to the bank. Forget about Lane Kiffin and all these other moves. James Franklin is making the biggest impact as far as moving players going through the portal. Everybody's heading to Virginia Tech.
I think it's kind of funny, to be honest, that Virginia Tech's having a much better recruiting year than Penn State. Now, I'm sorry, but that is funny to me. He had one bad year. Actually, wasn't a bad year. He had one bad month, right? Yeah. And they immediately axed him because they thought they were going to get their guy. It was the BYU head coach, for folks who haven't been paying attention to it. And it was the Crumble Cookie Company, and there was another company. Anyways, those guys with several $1 million stepped in to keep their head coach, and good for them. I'm glad for BYU. I've been made no secret about this on the show since Florida State's woes the last couple of years. They're kind of becoming like one of my side girls when I watch college football. I pull for BYU because I still view them as a huge underdog, right? But you gotta have a backup plan. You can't say, "Well, darn Franklin, because we're gonna go get our guy and he's gonna come, and trust me, there's no way anyone's ever gonna come up with any money." And then all of a sudden it falls out of the sky. I never heard them even in on the Lane Kiffin thing, which I don't think he would have been a great fit, but it would have been an interesting move had he gone to Penn State. Penn State is right there neck and neck as far as jobs with LSU and Penn State. People in the South don't want to believe it, but Penn State is it's a top 10 job. LSU's a top 10 job. LSU's not a top 5 job, as people keep saying. They're not a top 5 job. You can rattle off the top 5 pretty easily. We're going to go Alabama, Notre Dame, because those are very, very easily, right? Right now, I think you got to put Georgia in there. I think you do. I know it's not traditionally a top 5 job, but right now, let's just go ahead and say Georgia's in there. You got to put Southern Cal in there. How do you not put Southern Cal? Anybody who coaches well, Southern Cal, Los Angeles, the money's flowing in, and they're in the Big Ten now. It's not like they're in the Pac-12, right?
Yep.
And then Ohio State.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, come on. Ohio State's not a top 5 job. So that right there is bare minimum 5. And look, there are other teams, but I'm just giving you the bare minimum, because what I basically did was grab one from each area. Texas is a bigger job than LSU. That's 6. So at the most, LSU is 7th. But I hear these talking head, bonehead SEC commentators that all they do is know their area, and they go, "Oh, it's a top 5 job." Maybe in the SEC, it's a top 5 job. It's a top 5 job in the SEC. It's not a top 5 job nationally. There's no way in hell that you can say that LSU is a better job than Southern Cal or Ohio State. It just no.
I would put it out there that even now, within this last year and in the future, Texas Tech is a better job because of all that money they're pumping in.
But it's so new.
It's new. I know. I understand that, but I'm just saying
LSU will be pumping money in there. It's so new. I can't put it there. They got to have some kind of. And look, same state though, Texas A&M. You can make the argument because of the facilities, money that they've thrown in. But LSU. I'm not buying any of that nonsense. All right, let's get into our picks real quick, and then we'll dive into the National Football League. Let's go ahead and.
There's no need to fear.
Stupid.
Underdog is here.
Stupid. Underdog. Stupid. Underdog.
All right, stupid underdog it is. And Bobby, see, where's the little card up on there? Here we go. Bobby is sitting at -9. Doug has a very comfortable lead. So I feel like Bobby's going to be swinging for the fences here. And I do know his pick because I had him send it to me because I got to figure out my pick. And I kind of figured this is the one he was going with. I just wanted to make sure before I had to start scrolling for mine because not a whole hell of a lot after this unless you go for a stupid underdog. What you got, Bobby?
So I was so close to a couple weeks ago getting my +14.5, I think, underdog it was. I nearly got it. But this week, I'm like you said, I'm swinging for the fences again. I'm going with BYU +12.5 versus Texas Tech. Wow. I think that team's going to be fired up, keeping their head coach. I think that's a huge boost to their morale. I think that can be understated. They also have a very strong offense, and they have a solid defense as well. And Texas Tech, they've beaten them once this season, but it's hard to beat a team twice in one season. That tends to be tricky for a lot of teams. I do think Texas Tech is one of the top teams in the country, so it's going to take a monumental effort. They're going to have to win the turnover battle. They're going to have some moments that they win. But I think BYU, they can cover, and if they get it done, then I'm back in the race.
All right, so Bobby takes BYU +12.5. He'll be putting this stuff in the chat, and then I'll put them on the screen as we go along. If you haven't paid attention to this before, we take an underdog to win outright. If we get that, we get those points. That was the scoreboard you saw. If they cover, you get 3 this year. If they don't cover, you get -3. And so we keep up with I hit the Florida State Alabama one. I feel like I've been flailing ever since. I've been flopping around like a fish on a boat trying to get back in the water. So maybe I need to switch up my game. Maybe I need to go a little off the beaten path and stay out of college football for a week. Let's go to the National Football League. It's one of the better lines, and this is one of those ones I'm going to hold my nose and I'm going to pick it. It's not because I think they're a better team. It's not that I even think it's necessarily likely, but what have I always said for years and years and years, guys? Give me a West Coast team going east, playing early, and even more, there's even more of a knee-jerk reaction because this team has been playing very well, and they're on a heater. Give me the Atlanta Falcons to upset the Seattle Seahawks that are 7-point underdog. And I actually feel fairly decent about that one, and it's literally because of the circumstances I laid out. I think Kirk Cousins is horrific. What I'm banking on is that Seattle goes in sleepwalking, and all of a sudden they get in the locker room and go, how the hell are we down 12-7? And then the Falcons just find a way to grind out a W. That's what I'm hoping for. I almost went, well, I'll let Doug make his pick, and I'll tell you where I almost went. Doug, what you got?
Well, I wish you went with the almost pick, because that's a good pick with that Seattle game. So I'm going to have to give you my backup, which is tonight's game, Dallas and Detroit. Give me Dallas in the +3.
Okay.
That's just my backup pick because you and I were thinking alike with that Seattle pick.
My other one that I was thinking about, but I went with Falcons because it's 7 and not 4.5. The Titans. This would be a Titan thing to do, go into Cleveland and beat Shedeur Sanders and basically ruin their chances of getting the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
This would be a Titan thing to do. This is what I kind of expect the Titans to win this game because Shedeur Sanders, I don't care what anybody says, it's fake gold. It is fake gold. If you watch these games and you watch them, and I've actually been watching Cleveland and Shedeur Sanders. That's been like my one TV I've locked in on, and then I do like the Red Zone, a couple other side TVs because I really want to see like what he can do. He sucks, man. He's terrible. And it didn't help him any. I don't think that he won that first game against the Raiders, Doug. Because if you saw the post game, he shot his mouth off.
Yep.
And he said, "Oh, look what I can do, and wait till I get a whole off season. Look how great I am." You threw 20 passes, completed 11. What?
It's like I said with that game. It isn't a case
11 passes. You were sacked 10 times. What?
Against the Raiders defense.
Right. Which means what does that mean, Doug, for people who don't follow Raiders football? It means that they weren't getting some great pass rushes because he was standing back there like a deer in the headlights, and eventually someone would sit on his head.
Yeah.
So
it was an eventual sack. What I call a freeze frame sack all day.
Right. I always call it a Bambi sack. It's a deer in the headlight.
Mm-hmm.
Look at there. Look at there. Look at there. Oh, God, he got me. So that's what the whole game was. Last week, it was a horrific game. He had one blown coverage pass down to Fannin, the tight end, down the sidelines. It ends up in as a touchdown. And the way they show the replay all week long, it was like, oh, then he found some time and look where he goes. That tight, I watched that game. They were showing the overhead views and they were still bragging on, but it was crap. He was open the whole play. It took Sanders like 5-6 seconds to figure out he was open. And finally, and by the way, was not a great throw. He had to wait on the pass. And then still nobody was there to tackle him and prevent him from getting the end zone. This is going to be the battle of the bozos between Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward. So many of my Titan friends, and I'm sure you get the same thing, Bobby, are trying to tell me that he's turned a corner and he's doing this. He's bull crap. He did it against Seattle because they were in a pre-vet defense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, they look really good in the second half. Yeah, when he was down freaking 30. Yeah. Everybody looks good at that point.
Yeah, he's made some solid throws. There's been some good moments throughout the season, but as a whole, hasn't been great. It's been not very good for Cam Ward. So, and I get why Titans fans are doing it. I do understand. You draft the quarterback number 1. I'll stand on the table
about this for the rest of time.
Mm-hmm.
They screwed up. They should have traded down and drafted Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart's the best quarterback in the entire draft. And you could have gotten him in the 15th to 25th pick, wherever you would have traded down to.
I thought they should have just either traded down a couple picks and taken Abdul Carter, or just taken him there.
Thank God they didn't do that.
Yeah, what?
Thank God they didn't do Abdul Carter.
Yeah, no kidding. That's played out unbelievably shocking. Yeah, I can't believe I thought he was the surefire guy who's going to be elite in this draft. I thought for sure. So I guess it's better than that at least, but
his talent is there, but it's not here.
Yeah.
He's not showing up for practices, for meetings.
Yeah. He's a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal player.
He's going to have to get a swift kick in the ass this offseason.
Yeah.
And whoever they got
to hire a real head coach to do that.
Whoever the head coach is that comes in, it's got to be a disciplinarian.
Yeah. That'll make or break his career.
Because Abdul Carter could end up poisoning Jackson Dart and Scatterboo. You want someone who's going to come in and put their foot in all their asses. I'm not saying that what Scatterboo and Jackson Dart have been bad, but I'm saying it could have a domino effect.
It is a lot of spotlight on each of them.
And Scatterboo is out there getting in these stupid wrestling videos and whatnot. Where when I say wrestling, I'm talking about the fake wrestling.
Yeah,
where it's all acting and everything. And he got into that after a season-ending injury, and he's over there pushing guys. The act itself, I don't really care about because I don't think it was that dangerous to him.
Yeah.
People overblew that. Guys like Russo overblew that. What I hate about it is
well, it's all acting. It's scripted. They're not gonna tell him to go out there and run across the cage or anything.
Dude, how old are you?
Yeah.
Grow up. You hit
this?
You get a certain age. Grow up, son. Wrestling is for little kids. Anybody else that watches that crap is a moron. They just are. Or, and I'll give this caveat, it's their guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
If there's a guilty pleasure, I get it. We all have, and we go. There's stuff I watch I probably would never admit, and that's stupid crap I watch, but it's a guilty pleasure, right?
Amen.
If you actually believe in it, and you're like, you're breaking it down, blah, 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 you're a moron.
Yeah. And
you probably can't bust a grape in a fruit fight. In a real fight, you're the dude who takes off and runs. Rich says wrestling is as fake as Alabama football. I'm with you, buddy. Comment up there. College football is fake. I mean, let's be honest. That stuff is turned fake as anything.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and dive into the rest. We've got the college football picks, so we're going to do these pretty quickly. So, programming note, we no longer do the college NFL show on Thursday mornings and the baseball shows on Friday. Instead, what I'm doing, you'll notice there's only one scorecard up there. It's the one that's at 10:05. We are doing the Braves Country today at the top of the hour. It actually starts at 10:05 because it gives me a second to reset. But that's going to be combined in with the MLB today. Unless there is something breaking that has nothing to do with the Braves, we're just going to do it in one show. So on Thursdays, I'll be going 10:05 till probably a little past 11. Depends on how much news and whatnot is in there. It's just going to make it easier for people to just not have to go in and out. Makes it easier for the radio stations who are carrying us as well. And my schedule has changed where I can't be here on Friday mornings, and that's coming in the very near future. So I'm like, I might as well just go ahead and put it all together. So let's go ahead. And it keeps me from bloviating and keeping y'all on till, 10:15 or some crap. So, I know I've got to get off the air kind of thing. So, okay, let's go ahead and we're going to go college football first, and then we'll dive into the NFL as we start off, because usually stupid underdogs end up as college, but we're coming to the end of the season. We're really kind of running out of that kind of stuff. But here we go, diving into college football picks. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the college football picks. Doug, we're going to do these a little quicker than we normally do. Hell, there's not a lot of damn picks to pick, is there? There's not a lot of games to pick. Doug, we'll go ahead and have you start off in the college football realm. What is your first pick of the day?
First pick of the day is Duke and Virginia in the ACC title game. I'm just laying the points with Virginia because God forbid if Duke actually wins this game, how much chaos that's going to cause.
Okay.
So pray that Virginia wins.
Okay. I am going to take the next one to Bobby. Bobby, what you got?
So my first pick on the college football slate, I'm going to go Ohio State -4 versus Indiana. I think Indiana's a good team. I think they've got something special building at that program. I think Fernando Mendoza is very good. However, I think Ohio State's the best team in the country. I think they're going to show that. I think they're going to roll Indiana. I think it's going to be a bit of a reality check for Indiana. And I think it could be a good thing, though, going into the playoffs, because that first taste of defeat could be a good lesson for them heading into the playoffs. So I'm going to go Ohio State -4.
Ohio State -4. I am going to double down with Doug.
Double down.
And take Virginia. I took them last night in real time at 3.5, but it has moved to -4. I don't think it really is going to matter. I think Virginia, look, Virginia better get the W. They have a trip to the college football playoff sitting right in front of them. If Duke wins, I don't think they get in, which is, I've got a problem with that to begin with. If you are the champion of one of the Power 4 conferences, I don't care what your record is. You won the championship, you should be in.
Yeah.
This opens the door for if an SEC team, let's say Texas would have found a way to get in to the conference title game with 3 losses. They win, they should still be in.
Yeah.
If you qualified for a Power 4 conference, because you still have 8 other picks you can give away, right? Let's quit making excuses for all the Disney and Fox-owned teams to get as many Big Ten and SEC teams in as possible. At some point, the regular season and their championship have to count. If you're not going to do it, let's quit doing the conference championships. Honestly,
yeah.
What the hell? Like the Georgia-Alabama game, who gives a damn who wins that?
Yeah.
Nobody. It's worthless. Nobody cares. They're both going to the playoffs. I guess in theory, Georgia loses, they may not get a bye, but does it really matter? Iron sharpens iron. You're probably better off not getting a bye as opposed to sitting around for a month waiting for your ball game.
Yeah.
Doug, what's your next pick?
My next pick is Ohio, Indiana. I got Ohio State -4 in this game too. And the reason, Indiana's a great team, but there are two things in this game that just stand out with me. So Ohio State, that defense, it's probably one of the best college defenses I've seen in the last decade. That defense is just off the charts good. And that'll probably be the difference in this game. And Mendoza, as great as a quarterback, he takes chances. And I can see Ohio State capitalizing on an interception. Oregon got an interception returned for a touchdown with Mendoza. Mendoza, lays it out there. And I think Ohio State's defense is at one point may make them pay. So yeah, give me Ohio State in the -4.
Doug, real quick, give me a survivor that you haven't already taken. I forgot. I skipped over that.
Give me the Bills over the Bengals.
Bobby, what about you?
Do you have a list of the teams I've taken or no?
Not in front of me. No.
I know for
you've only been doing it a couple of weeks on this round, so
yeah, I'll go Rams over Cardinals.
Okay.
I hate betting against my own team, but we're gonna get smoked.
Okay. By the way, how about this? Normally I don't like to toot my own horn. I went 6-0 our last show.
Nice. I
don't know if I've ever done that. If I haven't, I haven't done it in recent memory.
Yeah, there's been a lot of weeks where I'm like 3-0 on the college football slate, and then the NFL one just kills me.
Yeah.
Amen on that one.
Yeah. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah. I went 3-0. Hell no, I went 0. I've done it before on the radio shows, and that's why when you see the number, you always see me with many more picks than y'all have. But we don't do as many picks typically. We usually do somewhere between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
I've never gone 6-0, and I actually doubled up on several of those picks. But like I said, that probably never happened again this year. So I'm strutting my feathers. Bobby, what's your next pick?
My next pick in the college football slate, I'm going to go North Texas versus Tulane, going over 67.5 total points. I know that's a high bar to reach, but North Texas, they're the highest scoring offense in the country. I think they're averaging like 42 a game or something like that. Tulane in their own right, they're averaging just shy of 30. I also think it's going to help that John Summerall, he's going to be there for this end of the season run. I know it's not quite as sour of a situation as Lane Kiffin, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. I still think they're going to be hitting their stride like they would have anyways. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Both teams are playing for a lot at this point in the season. Conference title, and 67.5. I know it's a high bar to reach, but North Texas is a team that's going to make that happen.
All right, I'm going to go with same game, but something different. Give me North Texas money line is -135. They're going to beat Tulane. Yeah. I don't give a damn if their coach is sticking around. He's got one foot out the door. He's recruiting right now. He doesn't care about that game. Nobody's going to keep his – I've seen this 100 times, okay? It's the same thing that happened when Kiffin ended up getting demoted and basically released by Saban.
Yeah.
Because they're not paying attention to what they're supposed to be doing. It goes all the way back to when Mark Richt left Florida State national title game to go to Georgia and was trying to drive back and forth between Tallahassee and Athens. And we get to this is one of the best offenses in the country. We get to the national title game, we scored 2 points. Because it looked like the entire game plan was running up the middle, chuck and duck and pray for the best and lean on the defense. I still say to this day, if Florida State either A, kicks his ass out, or B, he doesn't take that job, they beat Oklahoma. They were much better than that Oklahoma team. It was a terrible game plan, and this is what I expect from. I don't hate I really don't. I don't hate the over either. I just feel much better about North Texas money line. I just think they're going to mash Tulane.
Yeah.
10 points.
I think they will too. I think they'll get like 40 something on their own.
I
think it'll be a high scoring one.
Yeah, I mean, I could see. I figure it's going to be more like a 42-30 type game.
Yeah.
But either way, you're going to cover the spread.
Yeah.
Doug, what's your last college football pick?
I got. I'm taking the under in the Texas Tech BYU game. If you watch the first game with Texas Tech, they didn't allow as good as BYU's offense is. They didn't allow BYU's offense to cross the 50-yard line, but once in that entire game. BYU's the only reason it was even within 22 is because BYU's defense played inspired.
Does
but
BYU
Texas Tech was
get in if they lose to Texas Tech? I mean,
what's that?
I think they should. I said, does BYU still get in?
It's like you said, you're playing in a power conference, you win the championship, you have a right to go to the college.
No. BYU loses. BYU wins, they may get a damn bye. BYU loses.
No.
It sucks that they're getting punished though for making a conference championship, while Texas they probably squeak in at 9-3. Like
that's my point. It's stupid.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It's stupid.
I think, you know what? Maybe I just kind of thought about this. Maybe they should have the college football playoff 12 teams they are getting in before the conference championship.
Yeah, I mean,
because I don't think he should be punished for losing the conference championship. BYU can go out there and lose.
Like the Virginia situation.
Yeah, that makes it tricky. But maybe have a spot. All right, this team or the conference, like you mentioned, the Power Four champions are getting in, and then after that, the 8 teams after that are sorted. I don't know. It's tricky. It makes it difficult. But
you could also have it. You could say if you're ranked in the top 12, you're automatically in. Maybe even expanded to 16 teams.
It's expanding to like 20.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that
about this year. Because it's bullcrap. If you look at their team, you look at what they've done, and put everything else aside. But if I told you at the beginning of the year a team would beat Utah, who is a ranked team, they would pound TCU, which was highly thought of at the beginning of the year. They go on the road to a pretty good Cincinnati team and take care of them. And their only loss is to a team that is in the top 4 in the country.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care if they lose to them twice. It's their only loss. The only team they've lost. Same loss to the same team should not count twice. It should just be the one loss.
I agree.
Or as a committee is concerned.
Yeah. It's ridiculous that they're going to get punished for likely losing the conference championship. That's insane.
It just tells you how inept and how bad the college football playoff committee is.
It's terrible.
They're awful, and I think they're all on the take, to be honest.
Yeah.
I believe that there's all kinds of – you talk about, well, everything's above the board now and everyone's getting paid. Not the college football playoff committee. There's a lot of envelopes being shoved into a lot of hotel rooms this weekend. I'm telling you, they're crooked as the day is long. My last college football pick, I am going to take a teaser, and it's a same game teaser. And, geez, where are we at here? Okay. I've got Indiana and Ohio State. Give me Indiana. It will take it down to +10 on the teaser. And Ohio State, Indiana over. Give me over 41.5. I can see kind of a low scoring game in this one, but conference championship games in that dome in Indianapolis tend to be a little higher scoring. So that's what I'm banking on. I'm banking that Indiana's going to stay within a score. Mm-hmm. We're going to get 6 touchdowns total in this game.
Yeah. I got my last college football pick.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Yes.
you're good. It's you guys have both made the same pick. I'm going Virginia -4. I think that line's way too low. They already beat Duke by 17 earlier in the season, and Virginia's playing for a playoff spot. Duke isn't. I think they're going to get steamrolled. So give me Virginia -4.
All right, let's go diving into the National Football League. National Football League. Bobby, what you got? Give me your first one.
My first one in the NFL, I'm going with the Bills-Bengals game, going over 53.5 total points. I know that's a pretty high line for an NFL game, but I think that might even be too low. The Bills' offense has been crazy high scoring lately. The Bengals' defense is terrible, but they have Joe Burrow back, so they're going to get some offensive production going. I think it's going to be a really high scoring game. I know the Bengals aren't playing for much at this point in the season, but I still think they're fighting to get wins when they can. So give me Bills-Bengals going over 53.5.
Doug, what you got?
I'm going to amen that same pick, and for all the same reasons Bobby just said, yeah, give me the over in that 53. Give me that 53.5 over. Yeah. For all the same reasons. I mean, the Bills, yeah.
Double down.
All right, so you're taking Buffalo, Cincinnati over 53.5. My first pick, I'm going to go a same game teaser. Give me Tennessee +10 and the Cleveland, Tennessee under 40.
I like that.
There is not going to be a lot of damn points scored. I'm sorry, there's not. Those are two of the worst quarterbacks, not just in the National Football League, in the history of the National Football League. And the wind's supposed to be whipping pretty well there in Cleveland this weekend. It's going to be a cold one. I don't see how the hell they hang there. John says Bobby doesn't set his fantasy lineup, and he's still tearing up the league. John just sour grapes because he went from champion. He's in the cellar. I just saw it this week. He's last in the damn league. It surprised the hell out of me because I was like, man, what the hell? I haven't looked at his roster. He must have had some injuries or something. But
you know what's funny is my dad and we have a team that he has a league that he's run with some buddies for a really long time. It's been 20-something years. We have the most points in the league in that on that team, and we're still fighting to get in the playoffs. We probably won't make it because we've had the most points in the league, but we've also had the most scored against us. It's unbelievable. So
I think it's
so much of it's luck, man.
Oh, I can feel that
100% luck.
Because the Tennessee league that I'm in with Carr in,
yeah.
I've got to win. Basically, my playoffs start this week. I have to win because if I lose, I can't. The two teams that are chasing me down played like basically skeletons. Like the teams suck. And in what little good, one of the guys has been starting Kraft on the IR for like a month. But the Dynasty League or soon to become Dynasty League, I believe what we're going to be doing. But the league that the three of us are in, the Money League, it looks like y'all are going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Doug, how are you 2-11? This is what I want to – because Doug's usually really good with fantasy football, and I haven't looked at your roster. You're 2-11 because why? Injuries or what? Or bad luck?
Partial injuries, and just I had a crappy draft. I just drafted crappy. I have to take responsibility for it.
Gotcha.
I'm in the same boat. I had that Bengals trio, so that was a disaster compared to last year. Last year it nearly won me the league. This year, no.
Y'all also have the two least amount of points in the league.
Yeah.
Never
checks out.
I'm actually surprised that James is actually fighting for a playoff spot because normally he starts giving up and not paying attention. Next thing you know, he's sitting on the outside looking in. This is actually a really important week for Bobby. He's trying to sneak his way in. I don't know. I don't know. Actually, I don't think you can because the teams you're chasing, the closest one, you're 150 points behind.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make up that difference.
So basically what you need is a huge week, and you need the Green Bowl Packers to not only lose to Doug,
accidentally bench all their players
to Doug, but also they need to like come nowhere near 100 points because you need well over 200.
Yeah.
Anything you're doing, I would tell you swing for the fences.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't go, well, I'll take that guy's going to give me a good solid 12 points. Now you need for the fences because there's no other way in.
I need 40 from everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And you're almost, you're actually a little over 200 points behind the next guy. So
yeah, scratch that.
So you need Doug to actually, take it seriously and set his lineup. I'm actually going to get a buy in this league, but in the other one, I'm telling you, I'm flopping around like a fish. The guy that I had to catch because I have had bad luck in that league. The points is the only reason why I'm actually in it because I've scored a lot of points, but I keep running into buzzsaws. Yeah. Every damn 2 weeks ago, the guy scored almost 250 points.
Amen. That's happened to me twice in the last 3 weeks too. Jamar Gibbs goes off for 84 points. Killed by starting running backs.
Points. You have 1,700, Doug. That's a big damn difference over a season. But it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is absolutely ridiculous. The first couple weeks it happened, the beginning of the season, I started off 0-3. I was like, it's, it'll even out. It'll be fine. And then it keeps happening. I mean, I got to score 200 points just to get a win. I'm sure that's what will happen again this week.
Yeah.
It's insane. All right. Back to real football. Where are we at?
I think I'm up next, I believe. And
okay.
And my next pick, it's actually third on my list, but I'm not joking. This isn't a joke at all. I'm not just copying it. This might be a first double down teaser. I actually have Titans plus 10.5 and under 39.5 on the total. Yeah. Big time double down. I think that's the first time we've had that with a teaser. I have that as my third pick. And then, like you said, for the same reason, I'm very confident in it. I think Titans will keep it close because it's going to be extremely low scoring. And that's why I have the under as well. But yeah, it's going to be so low scoring that I don't think the Titans will have a problem keeping within 10 points. So I think that's a free one.
Yeah, I've already taken in real time. I've already taken Cleveland's under for this. Yeah. The game is 19.5. You can get that at I think it's either minus 130 or minus 135 on Hard Rock. I'm like, there's no way either one of these teams scores. The only way it happens is if Cam Ward throws a couple of picks, which is
it's possible.
It's a possibility, but I'm banking on that doesn't happen. It's just going to be a bunch of not 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but 1 yard in a cloud of frost, and it should be it's going to be a punt fest.
Yep.
Doug, what you got?
I got Pittsburgh and the Steelers playing the Ravens. Give me the under at 42.5. Pittsburgh. I watched Pittsburgh last week. That offense was horrible,
bad.
And I think the Ravens have just enough defense, but the Ravens' offense is even kind of sluggish. So I think the Ravens will win, but it'll probably be something like 20-13 or something like in that category.
In that league that I was just telling you that I need a win, I'm actually throwing a dart and starting Isaiah Likely against the Steelers. I forget what my other option was, but it wasn't great. And I'm like, whatever, man. This season's probably over with anyways. My team's solid, but I keep everything that could go wrong in the tight end position in that league went wrong with me. And Isaiah Likely has had some big games against Pittsburgh, and I'm just hoping I get a touchdown and 60 yards and just keep churning from there. But anyways, my third pick, second pick, excuse me. I'm going to go with another teaser. I'm going teaser happy here in the NFL. Give me Houston. Well, I've got that jotted down. There's no way in hell that's right. What time is the Houston game? Here we go. Houston. Okay, Houston, Kansas City. Give me the under at 47.5. I don't know what I have. What I have written is not what I should have had written. Under 47.5. Kansas City and Houston. And Baltimore to just win the game against Pittsburgh. Because they're minus 6 points. I believe they're still at -6. Yeah, -6. So it's going to be a money line type situation for for the Ravens. Hell, I could see me getting a push because these two teams will tie. But I feel like Baltimore at home, if they want to make the playoffs, have got to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
It's screwing my season-long bet of Pittsburgh getting to 9 wins. They've lost, like 5 of their last 6 games or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my pick. Give it to me. Bobby, what's your last pick?
So my last pick, I'm going to go Colts minus 2.5 over the Jags. The Jaguars, they're kind of a weird case right now because, one game they'll dominantly beat someone, and then the next game they'll have a really close game with a team they have no business keeping it close with, or they'll even lose to them. The Colts are a good team. I know they're on a little bit of a rough patch right now, but they're still a good team. They're one of the top teams in the AFC. I think they're going to beat the Jaguars. So give me them to cover minus 2.5.
That is for the AFC title lead. I'm not going to say it'll be a stranglehold, but the team that wins that game is going to get the inside track.
Yep, absolutely. And I trust the Colts more. I think they're a better team than the Jaguars.
They probably are. It's in Jacksonville, though. That would be my only pushback.
Yeah.
And the Jags, for some reason, have had the Colts number recently, but I mean,
I think back to that Jaguars-Cardinals game, and that was disgusting. That was terrible football.
Who do you trust more, Daniel Jones or Trevor Lawrence? I mean, either way you look at it, you're like, I don't know. What the hell?
Yeah.
I'm steering clear of that game because of it. Doug, what you
got? My last game, I got Dallas and Detroit. Again, that was one of my original 6-pack picks. Take Dallas +3. Detroit's offensive line is banged up. If you watch them last week, they couldn't block anybody. I'm not even sure that Mr. Sun God is even going to play this week, which puts all their eggs in the Jameson Williams basket. And Dallas is just playing a lot better football. So I like Dallas to cover the 3.
I now figured out what the hell I had scribbled down here. Scratch what I said before. My pick is Baltimore to win and Chicago Green Bay to be under 50.5. Okay. So my final pick is going to be Houston under 19.5, their team total. I had it written. They're written on top of each other, and I thought I had messed up a teaser, but no, it was Houston minus 19.5 for the game. And then the teaser that I have for my final pick, however you want to jot it down, Baltimore just needs the win, and Chicago Green Bay under 50.5. The weather's going to be a factor in Green Bay this weekend. It's supposed to be in the teens at kickoff, and I would just assume that there's going to be a decent amount, enough wind to be able to make it more of a slugfest. Not to mention Green Bay's defense has been pretty good, and Chicago's defense has been much better. All right, what is your lock as we go to wind this down? Doug, let's go with you.
My lock? Give me Georgia and the 2.5 to beat Alabama. Everybody's telling me that Kirby can't beat Alabama. He's only beat him once. After what I watched Alabama play against Auburn and almost have a mental breakdown against Auburn, and Alabama's been getting away with it all season. I think Georgia's peaking right now. So, yeah, that's my lock. Give me Georgia to beat Alabama by at least 2.5.
I'm not touching that game with a freaking 10-foot pole.
I know.
Yeah.
You could.
I'm not trusting Georgia against Bama. I'm not doing it.
You could convince me either way that one of those two teams is going to win, and I wouldn't have much of a pushback. I think it's going to come down to who has the ball last. Mm-hmm. Bobby, what you got? What's your lock?
My lock of the week, I'm going to go Virginia -4 versus Duke. I think this line's too low. I think they're going to roll through Duke and on their way to the playoffs. It's just it doesn't make sense. I don't like how the ACC championship format is structured. I don't like that Duke's playing it. I know it was a big tiebreaker and stuff, but I don't like the criteria for who wins the tiebreaker. So, I think they're going to roll through Duke pretty easily.
It sucks, but they did win the tiebreaker fair and square. I saw some moron writing an article saying that they need to change it this week and put Miami in or whatever. I'm like,
not this week. No, what do you mean?
The damn rule in the middle of it when everyone,
because the team you wanted to win in, get in, didn't get it. Like what?
I don't even think that she was a Miami fan because it looked like she graduated from Michigan. But I'm like, just shut up. If you came up
so
with a
annoying.
tie-breaking rule, you can't change it the week of the championship game. It's the stupidest thing I ever heard of. I would say that the ACC would be better off just taking the highest-ranked team in the AP poll on the tiebreaker because you want your conference to be relevant. But that's a shame.
Like now, you can't do it now. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a damn shame that Miami's getting screwed.
Yeah. Oh, I hate it. Just
all I heard 2023 is where they put the right team in. They put the right team in, and then freaking Bama gets curb stomped and by Michigan, just physically beaten up. And I'm like, did they put the right team in? By the way, can I say something? I'll push back 2023. Think Florida State couldn't have beat and wouldn't have beaten Michigan? Florida State's defensive team is pretty much all over the board as far as right now when you're talking about defensive players in their second year having just great seasons. Talking about Fisk, talking about Verse, et cetera, et cetera. You trying to tell me they wouldn't have stomped a mud hole in J.J. McCarthy's ass?
They would have at least made that competitive, I think.
50-yard line. I will always claim that as a national championship. You didn't let us play. You didn't invite us to the Invitational, so we went undefeated. We're the 2023 national champions. If you want to split it, I don't give a damn. Michigan never beats Florida State. There's no way in hell that happens. It would have been a low-scoring game. It'd have been like 9-6, but they would not have crossed the 50. All right. My lock, I'm basically doubling down again. It's not the same pick, but it's the same game. I'm all over this game. Tennessee, Cleveland, first half total under 19.5 points. It's going to be 3-0, maybe. Pushing all my chips in on that one. Real quick, we got to jam out of here. Doug, what is your one big thing that's going to happen as we walk off?
Well, my one big thing is what's not going to happen. When we had the rankings the other day, when Notre Dame at 9 and Alabama at 10, and then it gets switched, that's your little committee saying goodbye, Notre Dame. You were on the bubble. Goodbye.
Good morning to WQVZ AM 1700s. We're being broadcasted there. Good to see y'all. Good to hear from y'all. And Bobby, what is your one big thing as we walk this off? Braves Country Today is coming up in just a few minutes.
Yeah, my one big thing is that the NCAA and the conferences need to get this figured out with the playoff format and everything. I think it's ridiculous. They also need to, especially with the coaching, I think it's insane that coaches are getting poached before the playoffs start, and then you leave the coaches and the teams in a dilemma where they've got to figure out who's going to be coaching, and you also open up that 30-day window for players to leave right before the biggest point of their season. It's ridiculous. Things have got to change. Something's got to change quick.
My one big thing is going to be we're going to see how unfair the NCAA is this weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember in 2023, we were told, they put Florida State in. They don't have their quarterback. They're not the same team. You better not put Ole Miss in. You're trying to tell me missing your head coach and your offensive coordinator on a team that already has a loss?
And who knows who else is going to be out the door?
Florida State was undefeated. You're going to put that team in? And I'm not saying it's fair. It's not fair to Ole Miss fans. But I don't want to hear the freaking double talk because they're going to go, well, they're in the SEC. Just admit it. You're all on the take. You all suck. We'll see you Braves Country today on the other side. See y'all next week, guys.
Yeah.
Great job.
Goodbye, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We're back tomorrow with another show. Well, unless we're fired, we'll talk to you then. Goodbye, sweetheart. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Guys and gals, it's time to go. We'll see you on the next show.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's closing time, y'all. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Have a great one. On your way out, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to tip your favorite bartender. We'll see you. I'm Magee, signing off for Braves Country Radio.